So y'all know Tamar and David Adefeso. We've been talking about David. We broke down his live he did where he alleged that Tamar hit him in the jugular while he was driving and he lost control of the car. Then he called his mama and he was crying and something happened and we don't know. And there's $30,000 worth of damage on his Rolls Royce. And because as you know, he drives a Rolls Royce, but we didn't know that because we don't even know who the hell he is. So David, you know, after all that came out, apparently some texts have surfaced because he included these texts in his request for a restraining order, which has been granted, by the way, which, you know, anytime you file a restraining order, a judge is going to err on the side of caution. You're going to get your temporary restraining order for 30 days until they see that, you know, there either is some threat or there isn't some threat. Trust me, I've been there, but I digress. So David got his temporary restraining order based on, you know, all of the evidence that he submitted. Now, you know, within the next 30 days, he and Tamar probably have to go to court, and then Tamar will have to show, you know, her evidence, and then the judge decide if this is going to be a permanent restraining order and all of that. That's my little legal advice to y'all, short, sweet. So in his request for a restraining order, one of the things that he included was a text thread from Vincent Herbert, which is Tamar's ex-husband. Now, all of y'all who kept on talking about, you know, this was Vince, it wouldn't have happened, or Vince need to say something, or Vince need to get his child. Well, Vince then stepped up to the plate. Now, shout out to Glock Topics, because I saw it over on Glock Topics, and Glock Topics may have gotten from somewhere else. I don't know, and I don't care, but Glock Topics is a member of the squad, and so I'm going to give him his props. So Glock Topics posted this on Instagram the other day. And in this text thread, he says, text between Tamar's ex-husband, Vincent, and ex-boyfriend, David Adefeso, have surfaced. He's actually using these texts in the text between him and the case. And so my thing is, after we read these texts, but I'm going to say this right now, I feel like he submitted these texts, which don't actually make him look any better. But I feel like he submitted these texts because Vincent saying, we're not friends and, you know, I need to pick Tamar stuff up. He's probably threatened or feels that Vincent may hire somebody to hurt him. I don't know. But anyway, so as you can see, this was probably the blue version, which was what David sent to Vincent. And it says, hey, Vince, I'm currently spending time with my mom on the spiritual journey she and my pastor brother-in-law and I have been on in the past few months. As I described yesterday, and as I'm sure you can relate to, I need to heal. And the only way I know to do that is using the Spirit and Word of God. I therefore don't think it is a great idea, unless in an emergency or in an urgent crisis or situation, for us to be in contact for a while until I am able to heal. If it is an emergency, however, please text and let me know what it is and how, and I would be happy to reach out. As I mentioned yesterday, Tamar also needs to heal. As you and Tony have previously told me, it is imperative she be checked into an inpatient. Oh, child. Anyway, so Vincent responded, thank you, David. I only called you and texted you today as a courtesy call because you told me you would provide a time to pick up all of Tamar and Logan's belongings. I didn't hear from you, so I can arrange my schedule. David, I was only trying to keep the peace because Tamar has been saying she has been trying to retrieve her belongings. It is now safe to say she's moved on from this vile and abusive relationship. And hearing the tape from the other day, I don't blame her. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. He also continues and says, Tamar is getting help. As you know, she has been in deep therapy from Dr. V, who treats and cares for people like Tamar. At some point, he said that the doctor didn't think that Tamar needs to be institutionalized, but thank you for your concern. I've also asked talked to Tony, and she said she hasn't spoken to you since the incident that happened at your home and Tamar was released from the hospital. But we will take care of Tamar and Logan since the responsibilities were too much for you. Please know that after the stunt you pulled on Saturday, you seeing my son is absolutely out of the question. You used a 7-year-old boy and his emotions for your own publicity stunt. Never again will you be alone with him for any reason. You used Tamar's love and trust for you and manipulated time with Logan to use him for... Anyway, he continues. Look, it's all cut up, so you see me. I'm just trying to keep the flow. Let me know what time on Thursday to pick up everything that belongs to Tamar and Logan. After hearing you threaten Tamar's life, I believe the last thing I would do is give you an address for you to find her. I don't mind having a police escort to make sure everything is cleared out. The way you packed her things the last time was disrespectful, and it looked like a bunch of trash. She nor Logan deserves that. We are not friends, and we will never be after hearing how you treated Tamar on Sunday. My conversation with you yesterday was respectful and honest, and you never mentioned that you said to her how you threatened her. Then you called the police on her as if it wasn't you on the tape that I heard threatening to kill Logan's mother. David, at first I was a cheerleader for you two. I'm disappointed and disgusted for a man to talk to any female the way you talked to someone you told me you loved and promised me you would protect. After I make sure Tamar and Logan's belongings are cleared out of your home, there is no need to contact you, nor for you to never contact Logan. I trust that you will have her watch that's in your car, various boxes in Logan's room, and everything else packed neatly so we can have this done privately and quickly. You let me know if you have any questions or issues, but for now, we have nothing else to discuss. So apparently Vince is coming to the rescue. Vince is trying to get Tamar stuff. Vince is playing the middleman since clearly David has filed this restraining order, and we knew that David was up to something. Everybody that's around Tamar now has been speaking out and saying certain things about David being manipulative, David being controlling. It's odd how he went and filed the restraining order first. What is he up to? He said, I think Tamar and Vince will end up together soon. What do I think? I don't know. Humiliation is a form of abuse. David is clearly the aggressor and manipulator. It is a lot. Vince has been around. But then there's some clip that David did not want Vince, coming in and out of his house. We're going to see a lot of it this season. People seem to think that this is a stunt for us to watch the show. But I mean, I'm just watching it to see, the breakdown of this relationship, since clearly David did not want us to see it. So perhaps the drama in my mind is David trying to get our mind off the fact that there's a show that probably has receipts of him doing all this stuff. Go get your woman, Vincent. I told y'all weeks ago, I told y'all I wasn't a fan of Tamar's. I hadn't been following the Braxtons. I told y'all what I felt from the outside looking in. And all of this is coming out just like I told y'all. Like, he's an opportunity. It seems like he was there for whatever reason to advance his business, to, latch on to a celebrity, to get more exposure. This is what I think. This is not, I don't know for a fact, but yeah, it's all coming out. And the fact that he put these texts into his restraining order is kind of odd. But then again, sociopaths do odd things. He probably told the judge that, Vincent was threatening him, or, that Vincent was contacting him through Tamar, or Tamar was contacting him through Vincent, because, when you have a restraining order on you, you can't contact the person through a third party. So, that was probably his way of stopping them from calling him, period. And also his way of keeping Tamar's things, because now who's going to call him to get Tamar's things and then, get Tamar in trouble and locked up. So yeah, it is a hot mess. So he was just covering his bases, and some people use the legal system to do that. I've had people do it to me, file restraining orders just to not have me, show up at events or something, knowing that they weren't scared of me and I ain't never threatened them. It's like people do some crazy things. So in this situation, because it was a relationship and it seems like he was the controlling one, it just feels like he's just doing it to get ahead of whatever's going on. It's sad though. It's very, very sad. What are y'all saying? Fame is a hell of a drug. It is. And it's so unfortunate. People were saying that, because of Tamar's attitude and, that she brought this on herself. And, I believe she probably fought him and all this. But I mean, whatever the case is, I don't feel like she deserves this by any stretch of the imagination, whether you like what you've seen of her on TV or not. None of us know her personally. Hell, we don't know David either. All we can do is look at the facts as they're presented in front of us and then make a decision. And from what I'm seeing on the outside, I feel like he has more to do with the situation than she does, in my opinion. He said Tamar isn't innocent. He can only continue to expand his brand if people continue to watch him after all this. And, again, people are going to watch because, Tamar got haters. Tamar got people who love her and people who hate her. Her fans, fans are just that, fanatics. They love you, they hate you, but they're going to follow everything you do. So, of course, the people who hate Tamar are also going to go over there to David just to show support for him. There is what it is. David could have been feeding her those pills. I wish they released the footage from the car. Ooh, it's going to be a lot. I'm sure this, and I hate to keep promoting this stupid season of this stupid reality show, but I honestly feel like we're going to see something. Because you remember in the clip that came out, we heard them behind the door and she was saying, "Stop, David, stop." So we're going to see something. And I'm going to watch it. She probably crazy and him too. Well, there's that. Tamar is a hot mess, but don't deserve to be used and manipulated given her state of mind. I agree with you, Pink Steel, because sometimes, predators know who to prey on, period. And so, y'all keep talking about, this happened in her childhood, that happened in her childhood, this happened in her first marriage, her second marriage. And so, apparently she's attracting, these type of men to her because, she's troubled. And, people know how to take advantage of troubled people. Vince was abused, but we will never ever know because him and Tamar are protecting the brand. Marketing. You think this is marketing? Mona Scott. Okay, I really hope that we see that, because that's what it sounded like. Because remember, when he made that 911 call, he was talking about we finally free of WeTV and all of that. He was thinking that they weren't going to air the WeTV show, but they aired it anyway. They let Tamar out the contract, but they still aired the show. So at the end of the day, we gonna see what it is that he don't want us to see. The restraining order was for David to save face. Exactly. All right. So, yeah, go ahead and comment in the comments. Let me know who you are. Are you team Tamar? Are you team David? Are you team Vince? Are you team you don't give a dang? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And if you are just getting here, go ahead and like this stream. We've been gossiping and talking for dang 45 minutes. I didn't even realize.